Well, welcome back to a very blustery Stadium of Light this afternoon here on SAFC Live. 0-0 in the end, Danny.
Yeah, I thought if you're looking at the game as a whole, I thought first half we were much better this afternoon. Coming back down pitch side, one or two fans were saying it was better today, and yeah, overall it was. Second half didn't quite kick on and get going from where we left off in that first half, and yeah, we had some good opportunities in the first half, which obviously we haven't put away. Credit to their goalkeeper, made some good saves. We had the one second half, didn't we, with Bradley Dack off the crossbar. So yeah, we've hit the woodwork a couple of times, threatened a lot more, good energy in the first half, but just got scruffy in the second half. So yeah, the scoreline pretty much sums the game up, and I expected more from Bristol City, to be honest. We just said it there. You know, they've had a couple of good results, come and play with a bit of freedom, but no, they just didn't really get going, did they? And played within themselves and almost contained us, really, which we said before the game. We expected the complete opposite. You know, they like to try and dominate the ball under Manning, but no, they couldn't keep hold of the ball, couldn't string possession together for 10-15 passes, or didn't have too many spells in the game as a whole.
I was going to say, do the conditions come into that a bit? I mean, if you step back a little bit, you can see this swirl of rubbish behind us, but it's been a swirling wind around the Stadium of Light all afternoon, hasn't it?
Yeah,
and I think that definitely has a say in the game.
Yeah, no, I agree, because early on I said if ball's in the air, get it down and play on the floor, but even balls on the floor, it was strange. You could see the ball at times moving, and it'd hold up, and then the next one would go flying straight through, and difficult for the players to gauge at times. But certain times, there were 5-yard passes which were going straight under hit or play behind a player. But yeah, certainly the conditions did play a part. The lads were out there trying their best at times. First half, I thought we played with a bit more confidence, albeit after that 5-1 beating last week against Blackburn here. And then, as I said there, at half-time, what's Mike Dodds saying to the boys? Can we kick on, go and get that opening goal? And then you play with a little bit more freedom. But it just wasn't to be in that second half, and it was just flat in the stadium, really, in the second half. And as we just said it there, 12th against 13th, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Let's look through some of the moments then from the game, because Sunderland did come pretty close in that 90 minutes, but it was the first 45 where they really had many of the opportunities, Danny.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and it was, O'Shea, he had a mixed day, really, didn't he? He had some little bright moments, you see here now, and this sums it up in this 10 seconds there. Good skill there, then get your head up, pick a pass, and just dinks it into the goalkeeper's hands. So that sort of summed his performance up, and you could see he come off, was it 10-15 minutes after the break, and he looked a bit down that he was coming off, obviously, naturally, as you do. But he couldn't get into it in the second half, and just in that first half, he really had a few sloppy passes, and it just didn't happen for him at times. But you see here, we've got bodies in there. Dan Ballard trying to get on the end of that one there. Good save from the goalkeeper. Yes, he's got Sykes behind him as well. But we had a good spell for a good 20 minutes or so in that first half, where it looked like we were going to be the only side who were going to go on and score and create a few openings, and that was the case. There's another one for O'Shea, slices this one off comes off his pad, really, doesn't it? You see, we're trying to set it for somebody there. Dan Neil gets the strike away, and it sits up for him. Quite nice, actually, but doesn't get the connection he's after. Even Pierre Ekwah, first half, thought he was excellent. Second half, died out of it himself, really. But, so if you look at the last 3 games, really, Cardiff, where we had a lot of positives, a lot of good solid performances, then last week we were miles off it, and then today we've almost seen that in the 2 halves, really, where first half there was some good excellent performances where Pierre was regaining possession, driving us forward, and then second half he even got a little bit scruffy on the ball himself, didn't he? So, but listen, they're young lads, it's been a long season, we're 41 games into it now, plus obviously the cup games, so they'll take a lot from it, but we've got to keep on going. We've got a tough midweeker at Leeds, and then West Brom, isn't it, after that? So there's some tough games to come, but it is a positive tonight, I think, the first half especially.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Dodds will point to a lot of foundations to build upon, especially going into that Leeds game midweek. And you can join us for that if you are watching this in the northeast at Quinn Sports Bar on Tuesday evening, if you want to come along to the show. Because he did see more minutes out of Jack Clarke, he did see a clean sheet, he saw a good performance from Chris Rigg, especially in that first half as well. Bradley Dack coming close, Adji Elise getting good minutes and looking strong at left back as well. Pierre Ekwah having a good game in the middle, and him and Dan Neil at times ran the game, didn't they, especially in that first half?
Yeah, exactly that. So yeah, from Mike Dodds' point of view now, positives to take from it. So you looking from the back, really, Anthony Patterson, not too many saves to make. We've had the clean sheet, centre half's done well in these conditions, where we're stood here now, we're crisp packets flying around our heads. So it's not great to play in. I've been here myself. Pierre, yes, I thought first half especially, and Dan Neil back to where they were at Cardiff, dominating the middle of the park really. Not so much in the second half. And then Jack Clark, positive for Jack. He'd be frustrated, Jack, that he hasn't got himself on the score sheet.
We definitely look more effective, don't we, when he's in our side? I mean, it goes without saying, doesn't it? Yeah. But even it just gives. I said in commentary, I think it just gives everyone a little bit of confidence, especially offensively, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course. Well, he's one of the best wingers in the league, isn't he? And his goals tell you that really. 15 goals this season, assists as well. And he's had a few weeks off, but he looked back to his sort of usual self there today, didn't he? Where he was getting on the ball. To be fair, they handled him well at times. They were doubling up, you see there, getting bodies around him. He's a massive plus, isn't he? Between now and the end of the season, whatever happens with him in the summer. But Jack will just be happy being back out there. No player wants to be injured, especially the season he's had. He'll want to finish on a high. Can he get a couple more goals, assists, and get himself back up to full fitness?
Yes, looking back through some more of these moments while we get attacked by sweet rappers and crisp packets here on pitch side as we bring you the post-game programme. Get your hashtags in as well. Tell us where you're watching the game from around the world this afternoon. A couple of half chances for Bristol City as well. They did get a chance cleared off the line as well, Bristol City, during the game.
Yeah, that just before the break, was it like 42 minutes where they had a bit of a spell where it got a few passes in, and then, as you say there, that chance where it was the cross, wasn't it? Anthony Patterson palms it down, and then Luke O'Nine's back there on the line to take care of it, and then this was their only other opportunity really in the second half, or in the game if you like. And it's set play, isn't it? Nodded down, and it's not a clean strike, is it? I think it was Matty James, wasn't it, getting on the end of that one. We obviously made a few more changes. Patrick coming on, looked a little bit more like himself coming off the bench today. He struggled last week from the start, didn't he? But he's seen a bit more of the ball in the second half when he come on. And then there's that big chance there, little flicked on there, Dan Neil I think it is, isn't it? And then Bradley Dack finds himself free at the far post, and unfortunately comes back off the crossbar. I think that one there, and Job, if he has it back, we set it up there, didn't we, where Jack is coming across the pitch and there, just step onto it, and
Williams is arriving with him. Maybe he's conscious of that.
I think if he's keen, if he's on the front
still
foot,
does well to get the shot away.
Step into it with the first one and back himself. And then it wasn't a bad strike with his left foot. To give him credit, but the angle's obviously getting tighter then, and the keeper makes another good save. So, if you're looking at probably a man of the match, their goalkeeper, or I thought Viner was pretty good as well up against Job at the back. So from their point of view, it's defensively where they were strong this afternoon. There's the goalkeeper there just doing a bit of an interview, I think, with the Bristol City media team behind us. But no, he made several good saves, didn't he? And that's what you want from our point of view. We've had too many games here. Queen's Park Rangers a couple of weeks ago, our best effort was Dan Neil from 50 odd yards from the halfway line. Whereas today we've had a lot of ball in their box, and we've worked the goalkeeper, we've hit the woodwork a couple of times. It just wasn't to be. But we take the point and get ready for the toughie on Tuesday.
Okay, what should we do next? Should we have a look at the scores from around the Championship? Why not? Let's see. In the early game, it was Norwich City 1, Ipswich Town 0, and possibly the result of the day. Looking down, though, there's been another big one. Blackburn Rovers 0, Southampton 0, Cardiff City 1, Hull City 3, Coventry City 2, Leeds United 1 was the other score I was alluding to. Huddersfield Town 1, Millwall 0, Leicester City 2, Birmingham City 1, Middlesbrough 2, Swansea 0, QPR 0. Sheffield Wednesday 2, so Sheffield Wednesday making a good go of getting out of it. Stoke City 2, West Brom 2. That was 2-0 at half-time to West Brom. So Stoke coming back in that one. And another 0-0. That was at Watford and Preston North End. League table, what does that do for Sunderland? Well, it doesn't take us above the team above us, because that was Bristol City. Sunderland sitting 13th on 52 points. Looking below us. Well, you got to say it was safe now, aren't we? Anyone who was worried about that.
Yeah, no, I think we're fine. So obviously Watford could have gone above us, but they were held to a draw as well, weren't they? And I just think we'll be in that pack, won't we? Sort of 11th to 15th really between now and the end of the season, and let them scrap it out down below us at the bottom there. So be interesting to see who joins Rotherham. A few down there and at the top end there. A few surprise results really. Coventry, they're up there, aren't they? So it's not a massive shock, albeit Leeds have been on a great run. So. Well, Coventry have poked the bear there now, so they'll get ready for us on Tuesday night at Elland Road. Yeah.
Tuesday night on Elland Road. Let's battle through some hashtags then, because we've been asking you to get in touch from all over the world, just to tell us where you're watching from as well. How are the lads? And best wishes to Tony Watching every week from Connecticut, USA. Thanks, Court. Ryan's been in touch. We are watching from Irvine, California in the USA. Thanks, Ryan. Great to have you along on International Fans Day. Equally, Ken's 956 watching the game from Asbury Park, New Jersey. JRH says, enjoying an awesome team performance live in Auckland, New Zealand. 2 a.m. kickoff here. We should be ahead too. Well, that's what we thought in the first half as well. Thanks, Rob. Sunderland, Columbia. Happy International Fans Day to all the supporter branches around the world. Wishing someday to be part of them. Well, you're more than welcome. This one's from Ramon, who says, watching from Ede, Holland. Greetings to all, especially to Jensen Silt, who's unfortunately injured at the moment, but the Dutch connection there. Nicola's been in touch. Watching from Hoytsbruit. Pete says, Cheney, Washington State, USA. And Leslie has been in touch and said, Macam watching from Gibraltar. What do you think of who do you think our next boss will be and why? And I think Steve Cooper would be a good fit if we can get him. Well, that's the big question, isn't it? There's a few big questions hanging over the football club. We've got no inside info. We're just left outside to do a show beneath and around the crisp packets. But, you know, there's a couple of big decisions to be made, isn't there, in the summer? First team coach is the big one. Yeah. Christian Speakman and the rest of the guys at the academy, they'll all be working hard on it, as well as the owner as well. We've got no inside information. But, you know, Sunderland Football Club, we've just seen there all those fans watching around the world. Yeah. What a huge club this is. Yeah. People watching in from all around the world. People getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning to watch Sunderland play a game against Bristol City.
Well, fantastic support, man.
It's a huge draw for someone.
Yeah, of course it is, whoever gets the job. But, it's a big appointment. As you said there, we've had 3 head coaches this season. And it's not gone to plan. So, they've had to regroup. We got asked last week, should they appoint somebody now? And obviously after the result we had last week. But no, I think leave Mike Dodds be in charge to the end of the season. We're not going to go down. We're obviously not going up. Let him see it through and then start fresh in the summer. They might have been speaking to people, and obviously Steve Cooper's name's been thrown at us there. I'm sure they've got a list to work through.
He's been mentioned for the Welsh job as well, hasn't he?
But there'll be other candidates for it, and I'm sure that if they do get heads up, they'll be having a look at games, whether they come to the stadium or they're going to be watching them on TV, doing the homework and looking at the squad ready for next season. But for me, get somebody in ready to go as soon as the season's done. If you've got your person there, go and get them. Transfers, obviously there's going to be players who'll move on, players that are going to come in. We obviously need to recruit well and get ready to kick on and go again next season. From where we were last year, it's obviously been a big disappointment because we were there or thereabouts around Christmas, weren't we, with the playoffs, and then obviously it's gone south since then. So it happens in football. If you'd have flipped the seasons round, if you'd have said we were sort of 15th, 14th, 15th at this stage last season, and then we'd have finished in the playoffs this year, then you can see obviously we're building, but it's obviously worked the other way round. So it's disappointing for the fans, but we are where we are. We see it through now. 5 games to go. Try and finish as high as we can, pick up a few results, get some more minutes in some of the younger boys, and then you go from there in the summer.
Yes. Thanks, Danny. Thanks for your company this afternoon. We'll be back in action on Tuesday, and you can join us if you are watching in the northeast. You can join us for that one in Quinn's Sports Bar. It's an 8 p.m. kickoff, which means we'll be on air from 7:15 in the Sports Bar for that one. You can join us by getting tickets from safc.com. Of course, you can get your matchday streaming passes as well from safc.com right now. Right, we're going to get out of here before I get hit by a rapper in the face. We'll see you soon.